2:30. So if you're in the area and you're wanting to get some full action rugby league, come and join us. The stadium's open. We'd love to have you down here.
Northcote will ride out as follows. 1, Stone Duck. 2, Moses Leo. 3, Manuela Vitalua. 4, Amoa Tuli. 5, Ted Donnelly. 6, Jordan Tiago. 8, Eddie Gatawa. 9, Josiah Mafu. 10, Matthew Tafutu. 11, Nauru Tikian, Tingimawa, Tui Gamawa. 12, Kenny Stewart. 12, Joe Whitewater. 13, 14, David Mana. 15, Robert Tapo. 16, Joseph Tui Tupo. 17, Thomas Mana. 18, Lamanu Fiakiti. 19, Liam Lonigan. 20, Marvin Tamati Cook. 27, Colmarker. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start the presentations for the under 17 and under 18 grand final.
Welcome everyone to the 2019 Under 17-18 Open Championship. I'd like to give you our comment and congratulate both teams on a great game. I'd like to introduce Steve and Janet, the great coordinators. Steve will come up and say a few words.
Good day, everybody. I'd like to thank Maris and everyone that we can benchmark Australia's all season. Congratulations to Maris on winning the championship in 2019.
Today's game wouldn't be possible without our match officials, so I'd like to call out Jack Hanson, our referee, our touchdown judges, Isaac Brown and Casey Gribble, and our match manager, Joe. I'd now like to invite the captain of the Honolulu to come up and say a few words.
First of all, I'd like to thank the supporters for coming up. The great to see our winning team. It was a good game. Strong opposition throughout the season. They showing the platform for us. Good we
now have 5 RTs not working.
Staff and coaches for the sacrifices and stuff. Yeah. Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite the captain from Maris up to say a few words. all, I'd like to thank the man above, because if he wasn't with us, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you to the supporters, coaches, coaching staff. Thank you to the supporters.
5-minute call. 5-minute call.
Good game out there, heads up. Life goes on, that's what I say. So our boys, proud of you. I love you boys, the home mate. Just like to say a special mention to that guy up there. He played for us last year. Thank you to the 16s. I love you boys, and yo, what's a sin? Always a sin. Can we get a direct applause for the 2019 16 champion Memphis?
We have a call out to the owner of a blue RAV, registration BDZ152. You are double parked and blocking a two-way road. It does contain some team gear, if you could move it or you will be towed. Thank you.
Second game of the day, and it's a big one. Do or die elimination semi-final between the Northcote Tigers and the Glenora Bears. The two teams about to make their way down to the field. A nice 17-18 grand final to kick off the action today. Well done to the Marist Saints on their victory in that, and well done as well to Manyarewa. More than worthy opponents, had a great season, and great to see their captain showing so much class post-match in his speech as well. There's our match officials. Anthony Elliott has the middle. On the screen there, the Marist boys lapping it up. Their second junior title since Sunday. They took the 16s out there, and now the 17s, 18s. Coach Simon Edemir on screen as well. See there some of the Howard Hornets as well, waiting for their chance to enter the dressing rooms. They play Mount Albert in the second chance semi-final up next.
Okay, we're going to get the teams out to the skits and we'll do the same walk-in, blah, blah, blah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just for your information, prior to the game kicking off, there will be a minute's silence for a member of the Glenora Club. So just be aware that prior to the game kicking off, I will be making that announcement.
So the Marist Saints now going through the final celebrations there, or the final at the stadium at least. I'm sure they will go on late into the night tonight. You can see Etulawe at the back there, the 3-try hero for the Saints. And now making their way out to the park, led by Soape Kavaliku. The Glenora Bears shooting for a third straight grand final appearance this year. They'll have to do it the long way this time after finishing the regular season in 4th position. So Soape takes the Bears down to the entry to the field, and we await the arrival of their opponents, the Northcote Tigers. And here come the Tigers. Eddie Finota leading them out. He's back after a number of weeks missed with concussion. Cole Walker, a huge pickup for them as well, back from the Warriors. So here they come now. Referee Anthony Elliott at the head of the pack, followed by the 2 captains. The Northcote Tigers, a real standout team this year, have fallen away a little of late, but they'll be primed for this one. Got a number of key players back, perhaps none bigger than Cole Walker, a genuine strike machine. All right, Soape Kavaliku and the Bears make their way out to the left-hand side. Now there will be a minute's silence to start this one. Passing of Caroloza. So we'll run you through the team list quickly before we do that. Machu Stone Dunn will be the fullback. Tiaho and Morgan Tamoti Cook, the likely halves combination, which will be a change from on-screen. Cole Walker will in fact wear the number 27 jersey now. The side is captained by Eddie Finota, and the bench is a pretty good one as well. David Barner adds some real experience there. He'll come on and likely play a middle forward role at either prop or lock. And to quickly take you through the Glenora Bears now, Wairangi will be the fullback, Tuore and Yoka in the halves, Kavaliku and Tippins add some real starch in the middle of the park. In the bench, Bernard and James Tomata will fill the bench utility role.
Would you please stand as a mark of respect for the Glenora club today? It's a sad day for the Glenora Rugby League club. Their popular secretary, Carol Loza, died last weekend, and her funeral was yesterday. She's going to be sadly missed by the club. I'll please just ask you to stand for a minute's silence in her memory. Thank you.
So a minute's silence now for Carol Loza, the dedicated Glenora volunteer.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Glenora Club of Western Fans.
So a nice touch from both teams. Rest in peace, Carol Loza. Of course, if you've been involved in Auckland Rugby League over the years, you will know well of the Loza family, and Carol certainly gave her all for the Glenora Bears. Sadly passed away last weekend, and her funeral held this week. You can see on the face of some of the Bears boys there who will have grown up alongside Carol at the club. Certainly a hard time for them. All right, the Bears making their way out to the number 1 end here, and it looks like it will be the Northcote Tigers to kick us off. I'm now going to bring into the commentary booth my colleague Troy Hardy. And Troy, there's a couple more weeks of this left. It's been a wonderful season, and I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited for this one.
Absolutely, to get all of those rounds of football out of the way and to be here now for an Elimination SAS Fox Memorial semi-final. There's no tomorrow for one of these teams. This is the Eliminator, and it's going to be an absolute humdinger. So we get ready now for the Northcote Tigers to kick off. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be a fantastic game of football here today. Corey, here we go.
Off the boot of Josiah Afu, the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership Elimination semi-final. And after the next 80 minutes, only one will survive. Swape Kavaliku gets things started. They get Jordan Torre back today as well, Glenora. We haven't seen much of Jordan this year. Forms a nice halves combination with Zion Ioka. Glenora, 4th position through the regular season, but have finished on a high and carry plenty of momentum into the finals.
Nice.
Ioka plays on the short-hand side, and now onto a little half gap goes Payu, who then hands off to the number 5, Mosi Asira, and on their very first set, Glenora will get things going.
Wow.
Mosi Asira down the left-hand side. Phoenix Payu summed it up beautifully. And the Bears are on the board. We don't even have a minute gone.
Here's the SAS Sporting Action replay from the kickoff. And as Corey rightly said, it's the first set. Fake to go left, went the short side. How was the no-look pass to the man off his hip? Bang. And at that point, just managed to shrug off the last desperate attempt of trying to have a tackle in there, and the Bears come round towards the post, 4 points. Glenora off and running.
Some nice touches in there. Zion Ioka did nicely. Just a little show to the inside and then went to the outside. And as you mentioned, Phoenix Payu, that no-look pass on the overlap. Mosi Asira did well to shake off a would-be tackle on the way as well. So a horror start for Northcote.
Yeah, I was just having a quick look to see if that was Jeff Morton. And
Jeff's on his feet. He's there's no way Jeff's sitting at this point. So Mosi is going to attempt the conversion as well. Kick's good, flags are up, and the Bears lead 6 points to 0.
Dream start for Glenora.
Glenora out to a 6-2 lead, but they can further try.
Well, only just moments ago, we had the Northcote Tigers here kicking off the start of the semi-final.
So back to it. Wairangi brings it in. Winding up off the back fence, it's Big Swape. One of our favourite players to call over the years. Chase Bernard as well, who was just a constant presence in the middle of the park for them. Ball comes loose and knock on the call. So, after a nightmare start, a little chance now to get straight back into it for the Northcote Tigers, and they'll be breathing a sigh of relief there, and I think important as well, Troy. I think if Glenora go down the other end there and finish that set on a high, it probably really dents the confidence. But a chance to hit straight back now for Northcote.
Absolutely. Just having a way that they're setting up their scrum and who's in their shape on the outside edge. It'll be interesting. These boys know how to play football at the line, don't they? Always big entertainment to watch are the Northcote Tigers.
So they'll jump straight out to the left edge, and
Great D.
Vitini Abua, the first receiver. Finota. .25 out from the line now, the Tigers. Afu. Offload to Bywater. Backdoor now to Tiaho. And now a space on the right-hand side. Kenny Stewart with a strong carry. This is a bit more like it for the Tigers. Amor Tully jumps into dummy half. Comes back to the middle where he finds Tiaho, who then hands off to the skipper, Eddie. Shakes out of the first one and then gets wrestled to ground. 8 out from the line. Playmakers set left and right here, Northcote. Afu will go short to Bywater. Bywater with a little swerve at the line. Ball comes loose. And knock on the call, I think. Maybe a knock on off Glenora. Let's just wait and see here. I'm not picking up the referee's audio, so I do apologise if we misdiagnosed that one. It is going to be a Northcote ball. So back-to-back sets coming up now for the Tigers. A couple of good carries from Eddie Finota early, Troy. He's missed the last couple of games we've called of theirs. He makes such a difference to this team.
Absolutely, and keeps the defenders guessing. Big man, big strong player. Certainly knows how to draw defenders in.
So Afu off the scrum. Stone Dunn bumps the ball forward. They're about 5 metres out now. Josiah assessing his options. Eddie winds up. Goes low but is tackled well. Appeals for a knock-on. It's not forthcoming. Afu clears the ruck. It goes to Tiaho and Jordan dancing, looking for a gap and is taken down in front of the SAS uprights. Waka to Stone Dunn. Stone Dunn holds it up then to Vitinia Bua, and he's not far off the line now. Northcote looking to find their way back in after that horror start. There's no other way to put it. Bywater has taken the ground. This is the last tackle. Tiaho set to the right. Afu instead jumps out, goes left. Quick hands now and on the offering down the left-hand side. Ted Donnelly! The Tigers hit back. Just like that. Glenora at one end, Northcote at the other, and it's an athletic finish from Ted Donnelly. Nicely worked down the left-hand side.
As we catch the SAS Sporting replay here, they'd gone both sides of the field. Just nice shift to the left-hand side. Picked it up on his fingertips. Bang. I think he actually caught that horizontal on his way through, Corey. 4 points way over on the far side of the stadium from us as we film from the Johnny Walker stand and echoing the ground announcer there, waiting for the kick to come.
Just wondering who that left second rower was there. I think it was Nalu Tuigamala. It was lovely hands, whoever it was.
Just seeing as he's teeing up that ball there, how lucky have we been with the weather this year with rugby league in Auckland? You know, we've managed to dodge a wee bit of rain, and here we are in the semi-finals and the sun is shining.
So Nalu readjusts the sponsor bolsters there for what is a big kick. Chance to tie the ball game up.
He's rushed it.
Puts it away to the left, Tuigamala, so it remains the Glenora Bears 6, Northcote Tigers 4. 8 minutes gone here at Mount Smart Stadium, number 2. But what an important response that was from the Northcote Tigers. Really had the, I guess, chance to be a disaster there, but they recover nicely and hit straight back, and all of a sudden 2 points in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And fantastic to see. Just can't help think that 2 points on every try that's scored today, you don't want that stuff to come back and haunt you. So that ball goes deep. Here come the Tigers off the back fence.
Finota lines it up, brings it straight back, and runs it at Chase Bernard, who's probably not the ideal target on that defensive line. Waka clears the ruck. Here's Tuigamala. Fox second rower of the year last year. Nalu, he's had another great season this year as well. Become basically a dedicated forward this year. He played both centre and second row last year. Rugby union convert. Waka explores down the left, turns back inside and links with Vitinia Bua. Waka's gone to the short side now, and Afu will head back towards the middle. This is Tuigamala. Then hands off to the 10, Matt Tafotu. Afu kicks from the bottom of the ruck, and it's a good one as well. Well, it does find them on the full, and Kenneth Finotti brings the ball back. The rookie from Kelston Boys High School. He's been impressive this year, played a little bit of fullback and wing. Along with another impressive Kelston boy, Wyatt Rangi. He's been exceptional. Nice run through the middle there from Mosi Asira, the try scorer from the first minute. Quick play the ball now. Tippins says, I'll have that. Runs 15 untouched. Rangi now is the dummy half. Jumps out. Rangi goes on a run. Spots up Bywater, who holds on. Ball's loose, and that, I think, will be a knock-on against Northcote, although it's play on the call so far. Now the Bears attacking down the right-hand side. 15 out from the line. Lua Falialo. Torre. Yoka. Again down the left. Paiu with a little bit of footwork. Pops the offload to Rangi. Basketball over the top. There's got to be a gap somewhere. Although Northcote survive, it spills loose to Ture. Another offload. But we'll go back and do that one again.
Well, just can't help but think there was player down. Looked
Penalty
like it was
as well.
on the outside there, and he sort of went back in, didn't he?
So we've got a player taken out late here. Looks like the call from referee Elliott.
Was it Tippins? No.
No, Zion Ioka, I think. Yep, it's Zion. Back up to his feet. That's good to see. Zion, a player that we've called right since his early days at Kelston Boys High School. Talented halfback, spent some time with the Melbourne Storm in their 20s. So Tippins gets us back underway. Suape. Taken down in front of the SAS uprights. Tippins to Bernard. Joe Bywater, who's got through some defence already. Tuigamala calling the shots in the defensive line, keeping an eye on that crafty character that is Zach Tippins. Kavaliku on a short ball. Suape promotes it to Ioka, who kicks in behind, and now Aceris hunting his second, but the ball will beat everyone. So out to the 20 for the restart, but Troy, you don't need to be a genius to work out where the Glenora Bears think they can find some success today.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're probably, whilst they're unrolling some of that strategy, the kick through just, proves hard on this park with the very short in goal, and we sort of alluded to that in the first game. So they'll just have to dial the weight of the ball back a wee bit as Tigers now on the run. Look for the quick play of the ball, yep.
Good stuff from Vitinia Bua there. Now Waka down the short side. Waka just about sells them on the dummy. 40
Great
out from
the
the line now. Afu on a quick play of the ball. Hunting down the left. Josiah Afu goes straight through, but holding on for dear life. Solomone Vasuvalangi. Donnelly clears the ruck. It goes to Tuigamala, to Waka. Eddie Finota, straight and hard. Good set from the Tigers. Last play coming up. Waka's ended up the dummy half. Will go out to his left. It's a looping pass, telegraphed in some ways. Vitinia Bua pops the ball out the back, and at the end of that, it's a Glenora ball, I think. Yes, it is. Probably started to fall apart when Josiah Afu wasn't the dummy half. Cole Waka goes there, who probably should have been one of the playmakers. As a result, the looping ball was well read by Glenora. Still, though, not a bad place to finish your set, and they will get back to work now via Cartier Ioka.
Got pinged.
So
bit high.
Be called. Cartier still down on the ground. Doing the job at lock forward these days. We knew him as a half in high school. Of course, he was really the key figure in Kelston's national and Auckland title victory last year. So Tippins will prepare to kick for touch. And we'll have time off here as the injured player is dealt with. So a ferocious start. One thing to note, Glenora looking fairly offload happy early on here, and already you can see the difference Cole Waka's inclusion makes into this Northcote team. Just it gives them another playmaker and attacking threat.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's sort of as that kick is out over the line. Yeah, it is. Creates a wee bit of tempo too for the boys around the park. So they can slow it up, they can speed it up, slow it down. Here they come again.
Of course, the Tigers today are missing the ARL's top try scorer last year, James Waterson.
Oh, Mr. Waterson. And the chances of him coming back before the end of the season, if Tigers are happy today to move forward, not sure. Well, Mr. Waterson, speedy recovery to you on the rehab, and best wishes for the season that's unfolded in 2019.
Tippins jumps out. They work the short side now. Vasuvalangi. 20 out from the line now, the Bears. Everyone's set towards the centre of the park. Tuade will be the first receiver. Then we go to Bernard, and they go back door, playing with a lot of depth here. Riuli Buchanan hit it nicely, but Tiaho really good defensively. Ioka, again they work the left. Ball pops up, and desperate stuff there from Amoa Tuli to recover it. It was just as well They had the numbers, but once again, the Bears go hunting down that left-hand side.
Oh, he's bounced out of a couple. He's still going.
Moses Leal shaking out of tackles for fun as Afu plays short at the line and they work it back up through the middle. I think that's Kenny Stewart. Tiaho to Bywater. Joe Bywater straight and hard at Chase Bernard and Zach Tippins. Waka stationed down the left. He will be the first receiver and now looks up and runs the ball. Cole Waka shook out of the first one and looks likely just for a second there. Last play coming up now for the Tigers. Afu once again will kick from the bottom of the ruck, and this is a goodie. Finds grass between winger and fullback, and the chase good as well from the Northcote Tigers, and as a result they'll trap him 10 metres out from the line.
Yeah. They're going to look for a quick play the ball here. You can see a lot of the Bears still getting back on side, so somebody's got to carry the load out as they get some quick settles in. It looks like it's going to be a few of the backline boys getting in here. Yeah, the number of the Bears are now back in line, just getting a bit of shape as we look for strong settles out. They reach the 30.
Tippins kicks from dummy half. It's a good one as well. Turns Stone Dunn around. Still
Slip.
Wait for it, and well, just for a second there, I thought he may have bobbled it. Not the case.
Northcote's time now to sort of get back on side.
Moses Leo comes in field looking for a carry. Torde holding on up top. Waka. Cole Waka got rid of Chase Bernard. That's no easy task. And a penalty to go with it, and Waka loves it.
It's too long, bit of niggle on the tackle there. Yep, second effort. Now all of a sudden, just from the initial opening, just had a quick look at the time clock. How fast has that time peeled off?
Yep, I was just thinking the exact same thing. So a good chance here for Northcote once again to build some pressure down this end. Barner onto the park as well. That's David, the two brothers playing today, and here's his first carry. The former NRL player with the Warriors and the Knights. He's been outstanding this year.
Yeah, he's had a great season.
A great representative of the club to boot as well. Stone Dunn chimes in, it broke down, and
what's the call?
knock on for sure. There was probably one or two in there, and maybe the last one to come off Ted Donnelly. So Glenora dodge a bullet, and we wait to pack down the scrum. So both teams favouring the left edge. Waka for Northcote stationed down that side, and Zion Yorker down the other. So it makes for an interesting little battle. It means we're going to have side-to-side rugby league. Nice to watch, and perhaps even better to commentate. Trust you're enjoying the coverage, brought to you by Stream Shop. More Tully, who's had a couple of big defensive plays already. He's made a couple of good reads out on his edge. Look it up through the middle now, the Bears, which is where their strength is. Got a wonderful forward pack. That's been the case for a number of years.
Yep.
Here's the younger of the Yorker brothers. Promotes an offload, finds Tippins.
So one of the big things for Northcote Tigers this season has been their line speed, their defensive rush. And they'll be needing to do that to keep the big pack at bay, because once Glenora get the roll on, Corey, you're right. You know, they'll just start hammering away in the middles. Here they come again. Oh, great tackle. He's dropped the ball.
Now who's that ruled off? Wait for confirmation here, because there may well have been a Northcote hand in there. Waka asking the question. Got a lot of signalling going on. Scrum. Glenora ball. So Josiah Afu rushed that one, although I think it's just as well he did, because Wyatt Rangi at 1,000,000 miles an hour was coming through the middle there, and
full
well
clip.
up and through.
The boys get ready to pack in. Out of the base of the scrum, here come the Bears. They shift left.
Rangi. Mosia Serra Try score it in the first minute. Wairangi clears the ruck. Come back through the middle of the park now via Riulu Buchanan. Just in front of the SAS uprights. 20 and a half to play in the first half. It's the Bears by 2 after a blistering start. Here's Tippins. Double pump, short at the line. That's a brilliant tackle, Josiah Afu. Sensational in front of his own posts. Tippins now with big men set either side. Instead he'll find his playmaker Tore, who double pumps and looks to stick his nose through. There's not a gap there this time though. Last play coming up, says referee Elliott. Tippins. Yoka kicks in behind, cleaned up by David Barner, who looks up and says, what do I do now? A little bit of open space. Finds an offload as well. That's a great result in the end for the Northcote Tigers. David Barner showing great hands to scoop that up.
Great supporting run there too. As we see the Tigers now trying to get some momentum on.
Fresh legs on the park for them as well. Rob Tapau, who's featured at the back end of the year. He's been good for them as well through the middle of the park. And here's Joseph Tuitupo as well. So perhaps looking to strike while these big men's legs are fresh right now, the Northcote Tigers. And if this sets anything to go by, they're adding some real impact already. Josiah Afu to Tiaho. Tiaho hunting for a gap. There's not one there. It's tackled by his opposite number, Jordan Tore. In fact, it's really Buchanan. Short side they come now. Kick goes in behind, cleaned up by the Glenora Bears. So probably a poor finish to that set, but everything else was spot on for the Northcote Tigers. Rolled through nicely, started by that break from David Barner.
Double head clutch there. Yeah, looked like he clipped it in the mouth, did he? Or eye?
Yep, time off while we deal with that. Phoenix Paiu in a bit of trouble on the ground. And you just wonder if this may be an enforced HIA check here. There's a Northcote player down as well. Touching onto the field. The match officials will be right on top of this. Elliott moving over to ask the question.
Yeah, a couple of boys down. The other one looks like an ankle. Is it one of the Bears down?
So the Northcote player is making his way from the field. Can't quite catch the number there, but it may be Rob Tapau. Wairangi has a problem with a leg by the look of it, and he looks in some real discomfort here, Wairangi. So, bad news on both counts here. Rangi's in some real pain. Is that his hamstring he's clutching at?
Yeah, hard to tell. Seems to be. Oh, knee.
Amoa Tully coming over to check on him. That's a nice touch. And, oh, that's a real shame. That is a real shame. It looks like he's going to make his way to the sideline. That might be the end of his day, and that young man does not deserve that. He's had a brilliant season at fullback. And makes his way to the sideline now. The man to come onto the field is Joseph Lam. So let's see what the retrigger is in the back line now. You don't carry a fullback on the bench. And they do have James Tomata there, though, who could possibly add some backline cover. He is a winger.
So Glenora back on the attack there, unorganised. Looking for a runner. Basically, he had to pick one out of the line. They were flat-footed.
They get to the kick. And goes way dead. A long way dead, in fact. It's almost exited the stadium. Stone done.
And that's not a rugby league player in boots walking across the park at all. Alex. Fantastic man, Alex, too. One of the boys at the stadium here looking after us.
Further drama, Thomas Barner's down. So, bodies down everywhere right now. Thomas Barner now is in some discomfort. Well, this isn't what anyone wants to see. 2 players already off the field due to injuries, and now Thomas Barner nursing something that could potentially be fairly significant.
Been checked. SAS. Little teardrop in the background. No pun intended. They're just checking in the background if St John's is needed. So it looked like it could have been maybe a head clash, Corey. It's looking a bit wobbly.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
He's off as well. Wow, this is horror stuff for both teams. Barner now on the field. That makes 3 in the casualty ward.
And rest assured, viewers, St John's will certainly check him out shortly, as we've got 2 Tigers and 1 Bear off with injuries at the moment, as we wait for the restart from the referee.
So a long stoppage here. Finally back underway. Time back on. And David Barner, who's just watched little bro go off injured, gets ready to rip back in. Afu. Vitinia Bua, who's been very good early on. Fighting for a quick play of the ball that time, says to referee Elliott, where's the penalty? Stone done. 3 short of halfway now. Finota. Met head on and penalty.
What's he saying? Shoulder charge?
Correct. So Finota, we're back into it. Good news is Wyatt Rangi is running freely on the sideline. He may be a chance of returning here. Tuitupo lines up. Bernard does well to hold on and then get some help. Tippin's joining in there, I think. Afu to Tiaho. He says we'll change direction. Waka. Tuigamala. Stone done. Donnelly. Donnelly steps back in and then gets the ball into Vitinia Bua.
Great offload.
Quick play, the ball needed. They come centre field now. Waka looking to straighten. Waka is taken down 2 short of the line.
All on the right.
Numbers up their sleeve here. Tackles as well. Tuitupo taking the ground. Are they setting for a set play here? Last one coming up for Northcote. Afu drops it on a short. Taking the ground. Glenora survive. 16 to play in the first half. It's the Bears who lead by 2, and perhaps a little disappointing we didn't see a bit more ball movement that time from Northcote. Seemed content to go through the middle.
Yeah, well, it took 5 Bears to stop them, so again, they were all shaped on the right-hand side, so maybe we see a wee bit of that later into the game, as the Bears now are trying to hurry up to play the ball to get their runners to come out.
Watching the Northcote line speed here.
Yeah, that's been a weapon for theirs all season, hasn't it?
Acera.
Whoa.
Straight through the middle now. Cover coming across. But it's a brilliant long-range run, and he's 5 inside attacking territory. Tippins to Ioka. Really Buchanan. He's met head-on by Amoa Tully. Tippins is the dummy half. They centralise now and work it through the middle. This is Fitiora Davis. Tuore looks up, steps, bang, offload. Vasuvalangi, he's taken down 5 short of the line. Handover ball,
wow.
Exciting rugby league, and just for a second when Jordan Tuore put the head down, I thought he was through.
Yeah, it looked dangerous, didn't it? Beautiful step, opened them up like a tin of sardines, and I didn't realise it was the last count, and I'm not sure he did either. So the ball's handed over Northcote, Tigers go on the grind.
Tuigamala winds up off the back fence, and back play Ted Donnelly getting some attention. Tiaho, a gritty customer that one, plays beyond his weight, probably the best way to put it, as David Barner charges
Big
forward.
hit.
Plenty of bodies in that one.
Well, Northcote not the biggest team in the comp, but they certainly know how to play up the line. And defence, wow, sheer line speed.
Kenny
Driven
Stewart
back there.
gets taken back. Amoa Tuli pushed out a dummy half by Afu, who will kick from the bottom of the ruck for the third time in this game, and it goes up over the head of Kenneth Fanotti. Straight back at Tui Tupo. Tuare to Mosia Serra, who's really has not put a foot wrong so far. Very good on the left flank. Lua Falialo, more commonly a fullback or winger to us, playing in the centres today. A good game last week, scored a hat-trick into opposition territory, and Elliot says we'll go back and play that one again. Tippins to Tuare, who just dinks a little kick over the top. Donnelly needs to be aware here because screaming down his neck.
Whoa!
And just about beats everyone to it. That was a near thing. James Taumata breathing down his neck all right, and had a little cheeky word with Ted as well. And just said, next time I'll get you.
Yeah. Just letting you know I'm here. And impressive line speed by Viggo Rasmussen, who kept up with him down the line there, one of the officials. Well, I just threw that in for Viggo, to be fair.
Tui Tupo. 12 and a half to play in the first half. After a frantic start, a real arm wrestle has started to build, and it's hard to get a read on who's winning it right now. Both teams employing different tactics. Josiah Afu's been outstanding so far for Northcote. Eddie lines up for another carry. The skipper takes it forward, 5 into attacking territory. Throws his body into everything, does Eddie. Stone done. One more up their sleeve here, Northcote. Afu shuffles play to the left. In fact, no, he doesn't. Goes on a little run himself and then promotes the ball to Stone. Done, and it's dropped down by Machu. So Glenora on the ball now. Zach Tippins down and slow to his feet. Slowly getting back into the line. Lua Falialo. An Auckland representative last year, Simon, former Marist man. Brings real pace to the back line. Tuare to Paiu. Zion is the dummy half. Suape lines up for another one. I think that's his second stint already. Suape been off for a rest and back into it. Tuare kicks over the top. Stone done though, reads it nicely in his own hand, stands up the first line and then plays on. Amoa Tuli cries of hold the ball from the sideline, and he had to throw that back in, but he was in big trouble there.
Well,
yeah, and
I don't think
it's straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. Just happened that quick, that fast. There's no malice in it, I don't believe. But as soon as your feet leave the ground.
Let's chat with Elliot. And a warning suffice there.
The crowd are buying in. Yeah, you touched on earlier, for the hooker for Northcote Tigers. Very rare he gets caught with the ball. Dangerous every time he skips and hops.
Yeah, we've watched him over the last couple of years, and to me, he's really added to his game. He's always been a great runner at dummy half, but he's added that really nice long kick from the bottom of the ruck as well. And as you say, he makes really good decisions there, and it's not too often he gets outsmarted by the defence.
Bit of running repair there.
Morgan Tamoti Cook, one of the trainers today, not available for selection.
Just hearing the time clock coming down to around the 10-minute mark as Northcote Tigers now get the ball and get to kick for touch.
Cries of who wants it. I think you find both teams do. You see that over the next 50 minutes. 10 to play in the first half. Tui Tupo lines up off the back fence. It'll change a direction at the line. Here's Afu to Bana. Bana straight and hard. Gets a rocket down low. Up for a quick play of the ball though. Finota goes across field. Looking for an offload, but the ball is wrapped up. Tackle still to play with here. Goes to Bana. Bana to the line, then goes back door to Tiaho. Tiaho to Kenny Stewart. Kenny Stewart bumps and has taken the ground. He's played both centre and back row this year, Kenny Stewart. Amor Tully jumps out and centralises, and that's the handover.
Yep.
But again, not a terrible result. You finish the set 9 metres off the opposition line. Most of the time you're fairly happy with that. So Northcote now get ready to get through some work on the other side of the ball.
Got the shoulder on the contact there.
It's James Tomata. Wairangi remains on the sideline. But as I said, was running freely before. Be a good chance of returning, I would think, given the importance of this game. Although interchanges will become an issue because if it go to that bench earlier than expected.
Well,
Ball's loose. Tippins saying a strip. Play on the call. Kavaleku now. Sawape says, get out of my way.
Hoo-ah!
And Sawape now looking for support down the middle. Finds it, but the Northcote cover get there in time. Oh, Sawape, you're a joy to commentate. Tippins gets to a quick play of the ball. They head down the right-hand side. Real chance on here for the Glenora Bears as they straighten. It's going Vasu Valangi and is put down.
Yep, he knows it too.
Ted Donnelly. Joy. Vasu Valangi distraught.
And Swapi's going to go over there and have a quiet word in his ear. Do you realise they've just gone 50 metres for that? Wow, he just split them open, didn't he?
I was just going to say, similar to Tony Tuia, he's got so much. He's got so much skill, Suape Kavaluku. It's easy to look at these players and think you're a bump the ball kind of guy. But Suape, I mean, we commentated the game earlier this year. He threw a 3-man cutout pass.
He did
just
too.
Incredible.
And I remember the interview you had with the captain,
Kingy.
Phil King. No. That's not what we want him doing. Wow, he can do it all. Back to the action, though. Here we go. Tigers on the grind.
Suape does what he wants. He's a king down at Harold Moody Park.
Offload.
Northcote now, rucking it out. Here's Joseph Tuitupo. He's been very good, Joseph Tuitupo, on both sides of the footy as well. And on cue, produces a really good carry. Nice quick play of the ball as well. Stone Dunn to Finota. Lines one up and takes them to 5 short of halfway. 7 to play in the first half of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership Elimination Semi. And it's the Bears with a slim lead. Bana goes straight, takes them into the attacking half. Now Eddie's down in back play.
That one.
Headgear off straight away. That's a worry. Waka, big cut out ball, and it's found. Vitinia Bua shakes out a one. I tell you what, a centimetre the other way, and that
ball's
is
gone
a
to ground.
80-metre intercept. Now what's happened here?
He dropped it.
Strip the call. Boy, oh boy. It's all happening. And in back play, Finota.
Well,
Headgear back on.
You have to wonder if there was a professional foul. They needed to slow the momentum down. It was getting up tempo there for the Tigers. Here they come.
Kenny Stewart. Bana.
Well, they let him run, didn't they? The defensive line weren't up on him quick. Quick play the ball.
Afu to Waka. Waka just tempted them with the dummy. Here it is, boys. Ends up running, taking the ground about 8 short. Afu, double pump from Josiah. Taken down in front of the SAS uprights. Not far to travel here for the Tigers, looking for their first lead of the match. Bana clears the ruck. Tiaho, footwork. Jordan Tiaho goes long.
Great
Jordan
shot.
Tiaho scores. The Tigers hit the lead. Jordan Tiaho, bang, bang off the legs. Goes over. And the Tigers in front for the first time today. 8-6, kick to come.
So we wait for the action. SAS Sporting replay. Here it is. On the try line side. Step. And as Corey said, Bang, bang, open them up. Enough momentum to slip in under, and the index finger is up. That's try time. Tigers another 4 points on, right next to the upright.
It's a real strong point of his game. He runs the ball often and just keeps the defensive line guessing, and that time found a little half gap. The thing with being a little halfback like that is if you're going to take the line on, you have to get whacked a couple of times before that one opens up.
Yeah.
So.
And he was running in amongst big units too.
So Tuigamala with an easier one. Flags go up, and it is the Tigers who lead 10 points to 6. 4.5 to play in the first half. You're joining us for the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership Elimination Semi-Final. And after conceding on the very first use of the ball, Northcote have found their way back into this contest and just now found their way to the lead.
Looks like the Glenora Bears half's back on the field. I was going to say to you earlier, Corey, at some point, do you take the risk and ice them for the following week? But in some cases, there is no following week, and it all has to happen now.
So Wyatt Rangi just confirming back on the field, the fullback for the Glenora Bears. And looks to be running freely, so that's really good because for a second there it looked like that may have been a serious injury. So Finota, tasked with the first carries, got through some minutes in this first half. Good, strong carry. Is that Vitini Abua? It is. He's just about been their best so far. Manu out on the edge. Here's Tuigamala. Tuigamala, was that shot high? The ball's come loose. What's the call? Going the way of the Bears. Well, you ride your luck sometimes. They've got a couple of perhaps fortuitous ones gone their way the last couple of minutes. They need to take full advantage.
Running repairs on a Tiger out the background there.
It's Eddie again.
It is, yeah. I don't think he's right.
He's in big trouble here, the skipper.
Just been told 3 minutes on the clock till half time.
They are checking the jaw there, which is obviously not a good sign, so we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, David Barner.
Here's the hop.
With a nice little jump out of dummy half, and he gets ragdolled to ground by Joseph Narlam, the Point Chevalier Jr. Barner. Short to Tui Tupo, who power spins out of one. 30 out from the line now, the Northcote Tigers, hunting their third try of the game. Afu to Tui Tupo, they work the middle again, and Joseph holds on to it. 20 short of the line now. Barner jumps out, goes to his left, finds Waka. Waka beating one, beating two. Cole Waka still going here, comes back to the middle to Tiaho, and perhaps space on the right hand side here. Amoa Tuli with a little bit of footwork, still dancing. Amoa Tuli back through the middle, and the Tigers are in again. Another one for Northcote.
Well, all of that happening with one man down in the background as we wait for the SAS Sporting Action replay to come up. How good is this rugby league today? Little hop off to the left, footstep, left, right, just kept the ball alive. Went wide, looked like they were going to shift right, then he thought, no, stepping back inside again. Power step there, nice run, look at the line. Right in next to the SAS upright, 4 points.
Second try in the space of 6 minutes for Jordan Tiaho. This one a little easier. The work was done for him, but he supported beautifully. And plaudits go out to Amoa Tuli for some lovely footwork there. Cole Waka in the thick of it as well.
You're not going to believe this, Corey. I was just about to say, as all of that action started unfolding, before we got there, it looked like the Bears were at 6s and 7s. Easy to say after the fact, isn't it?
So Tuigamala prepares to convert as the commentators try and get their heart rate down. Less than a minute to play. Tuigamala, the kick is good. The Tigers lead 16 points to 6.
30 seconds and a half to go, Northcote leading 16-6.
30 seconds to half time. So, do they go short? Do they go long? Tigers really don't care. They're just sauntering back.
I don't even think if you're Glenora, you just go to the sheds at this point. Nothing great to be achieved by kicking this ball off, and that looks like it's going to be what happens.
Yep.
So Yuka, with 1 second to play, we'll get one play in here. And
Run it out.
Cole Walker
Yeah.
says we'll go to halftime. Thank you very much. Northcote, against the odds, lead this one 16 points to 6 at halftime over the Glenora Bears. 40 minutes to play. It's going to be brilliant. Don't go anywhere. Back in a few moments. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. About to get back underway for the second half here. And after conceding a try on the very first set, the Northcote Tigers just grind their way back into this contest and have been the better team for the last 10 or 15 minutes. They scored twice in that time, both times through Jordan Tiaho. There's the Tigers on screen. Morgan Tamoti Cook featuring in the chat there. Of course, head coach Jeff Morton, who has been on an emotional roller coaster, I dare say, in this game. He would have been seriously unhappy with what he saw early on, but the response from his team has been first rate. The Bears are out there ready to get back underway, and Northcote are using every second they can in this huddle. Jordan Tiaho, it looks like, getting some attention on the ground there as well. Great crowd in today, and a big thank you to everyone in attendance, and of course those streaming in around the world. Footage brought to you today via Stream Shop. Big shout out to the crew today for their wonderful work. So Glenora waiting to kick off, saying, "Where are you, boys?" Touchy now making his way, which means the Tigers won't be far off. So Morton leaves the huddle along with Dizzy, and we prepare for the biggest 40 minutes of the season so far. Do or die time. The Bears have a 10-point deficit to reverse. Now my pleasure to welcome back into the commentary booth Troy Hardy. And Troy, we've been having a little chat about it at half-time. Certainly the game plan employed by the Bears, the Tigers I should say, so far very effective, but can they sustain that for a full 80 minutes?
Well, they've been playing like this all season, and other than the intensity of being in a semi-final, you'd expect that with 16 points to 6, they've got to have their tails up. So, really...
As my commentating colleague leaves to deal with some logistical issues in the background.
So we're just telling them to kick off.
Welcome to Grassroots Sport.
Okay, well, we're back. So match managers have been informed. We're all set. I even forgot what Corey just asked me less than 30 seconds ago. We're into it. 40 minutes. Semi-finals, do or die. Here we go.
High restart recovered by the Bears. So there's a brilliant start. Vasu Valangi scoops that one in. And advantage to Glenora straight away.
Make up for now, Davey. Let's go, Davey. Bang him, Davey. It's yours.
So the Bears marching forward.
Nice, Davey.
Tippins the dummy half. Yoka to Suape Kavaliku. Very effective in his first 40 minutes. Played a fair bit of it as well. Tippins. Yorker to Jordan Torde, shakes out the first one. Torde looks up and then gets dragged to ground by Afu and Tuigamala. In fact, he stays on his feet for a fair bit of it.
And that's the thing with the rushing defence, you can't miss.
Bernard jumps out of dummy half. Torde calling the shots back towards the middle of the park. Sends the ball that way. Northcote line reading that one beautifully. Left side they attack now. Here come the Bears. Zani Yoka dancing his way through. Tackle still up their sleeves here. Kavaliku gets rid of the first line, and Northcote get their numbers, but he gets an offload away, and now they're going to come out to the middle once again. This is Pawhairangi Charlie. 5 to travel now. Torde kicks in behind. Chase is good from the Bears, and I'm not too sure where that ball's gone in the end. In fact, Northcote have very patiently watched that go dead. Josiah Afu down in back play. We'll keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, Jordan Tiaho brings the football back, and straight away they're out to 35 off their own line. Amoa Tuli backs it up with a good run. The Samoa Okalani representative this year.
Great little fight.
Oh! Look at this. The Tigers. 35 out from the line with tackles still to play with Amoa Tuli. Was that high? Play on, says referee Elliott. Tiaho clears the ruck. Goes to Tuitupo. One of the Certainly not the biggest names in this team, Joseph Tuitupo, but for me, he's been their best forward through the first 40 minutes. Cole Walker dinks a little kick over the top. The chase is good and read beautifully in the end. Cleaned up. That was a try-saving play right there from the number 2, Kenneth Fanoti. Taumata now rucking it out. Big job on their hands all of a sudden here, the Glenora Bears. Tippins. Ball comes loose, strip the call.
Wow.
Big reliever there for Glenora, who was struggling to get out of their own end. Now have the chance to kick for touch. In fact, they're going to tap and go. So interesting, Riulu Buchanan. I still don't think you've made as much as you would have from the kick there, but perhaps thinking they were a chance of going through. Here's Kavaliku, who's almost smiling before he receives the ball. That's terrifying in itself. Tippins. Works centre field, Jordan Tore, and then to Karie Ioka. Hasn't Jordan Tore been a welcome addition? Added some really nice shape to this Glenora team, and once again, he's the man on the ball. Works back through the middle of the park. He's got a good running game as well. 4 gone in the second spell. It's Glenora on the attack, playing with a little bit of width now. Riulu Buchanan, they're up quickly though, and Kenny Stewart's done a lovely job that time. Kavaliku, the world's biggest dummy half. Basketball passes out the back to Ioka, who then goes to Big Bro. And eventually they get to a kick, and it is an all-time terrible one. Tore scoops it up. It might not end up so bad, though, for the Bears. Now as Vasu Valangi goes straight through the middle now. Vasu Valangi will keep going all the way. Vasu Valangi makes a silk purse out of the pig's ear. A horrible kick, cleaned up by the big fella, who then just roars through the middle and gets the Glenora Bears on the board in the second half.
And as we check out the SAS Sporting replay, I mean, this was just all over the shop. And basically, a couple of nice steps here as we saw the big second row coming through. And I think, those defenders falling off there as we see a big flurry on the finish of the play. Loving it. 4 points. But as Corey rightly said, it was really from broken play. And I don't know if that was a set play, to be fair, but the Bears put 4 points on and they're in. So that closes the margin somewhat as we wait for the kick to come.
It's a funny old game, isn't it? You think of all the brilliant little efforts that Northcote have made in technical areas, and then a terrible kick. Your line's slightly split, and that happens. So kick to come. Flags are up, and it's back to a 4-point ball game. Northcote Tigers 16, Glenora Bears 12. 5.5 gone in the second spell.
Some of the wounded soldiers coming back on, and rightly before kickoff, you sort of said, Corey, we spoke about it during the break, and that was sustainability. Could Northcote sustain that effort for the next 40? Where I guess we're about to find out. And from that broken play, Bears get awarded 4 points. So Northcote really need to reset now and get back into their strategy, back into their structure. As we wait for the kickoff here, and nullify the big boys and get back on the ball. Here we go.
Kickoff driven down towards Ioka and winding up as a syrup. Try scorer in the first half. Worked really hard out of yardage as well. He's impressive. Here's Suape. Kavaliku continues a strong game with another good bumping carry up through the middle. Tippins wants a penalty. Elliott says you're dreaming. Tore to the line. Tippins assessing the options at dummy half. Ends up going to his right to link with the younger of the Ioka brothers, Cartier. One of many Kelston graduates in this team. It's great to see them flow through as well as Tippins gets an offload away. Links up with Cartier Ioka. They're only 20 out from the line now, the Glenora Bears. Fanoti to Ioka. Kick goes in. Was that touched by Northcote? This might be 6 again. Yes, it is. 6 more to play with. A real test of the Northcote line now. Left they come. Ioka. Driven back. Jordan Tiaho at the heart of it. Gets all tangled up in there. I think Zion might have had a fair bit to do with that one as well, just quietly. Straight and hard now via Piwharangi Charlie. off the bench.
Yep.
Bernard is set. Infield, is that the way it's going to go? Well, was there a touch there? Yes, there was. Glenora will get back-to-back-to-back sets now. 3 in a row for the Bears down this end of the park. And this is a big, big moment in the game for Northcote. Read the rule book, the call from the sideline. I think just quietly Anthony Elliott might know the rule book fairly well. A long time spent in the NRL systems. He is Auckland's top referee. Zanioka feeds the scrum. Goes first receiver to Tuare. Links with Fanoti. 10 out from the line. It's a messy old play of the ball. Northcote doing their best to stay in there. Here's Vasu Valangi to Bernard, and Bernard goes so close in front of the SAS uprights. Bernard's in trouble here. That's not a good sign.
It's awkward the way he fell.
Time off. And Chase Bernard remains down. You just wonder if that may have been the shoulder there.
It was all just starting to mount again for Glenora at that point. Let's hope he's okay as he gets up.
The knee's heavily strapped. Okay, maybe it's
Magic water time.
Different kind of injury. Okay, well.
There'll be a pulled groin there.
Yeah. Might be where the diagnosis stops on that one. So in front of the SAS uprights. Back to it we go. Tuare. Vasu Valangi short at the line, but Northcote up in numbers, and Kowaka makes a crucial intervention. Vasu Valangi heads infield. Back through the middle, this is Cartier Ioka. Front of the SAS uprights, tackle still up their sleeve here, the Glenora Bears. Tippins. Double pump at the line, now taken out on suspicion was really Buchanan by Tiaho. Tuare, the first receiver, dinks a little kick in behind, it's taken a deflection, and that is fantastic from Nalu Tuigamala. Big play, circle that one. If they end up winning the game, that may well come back to be a huge moment there from Nalu, diffusing that kick. If that goes in goal, it's anyone's guess what happens. Here's Tui Tupo.
Very deceptive, eh?
He's
very strong.
Excellent. Afu will kick early. This is a 40-20 claim. Is it going to hold up now? Bouncing around. Glenora there. The chase not quite quick enough, and Tomata is taken down. 5 off his own line. Watch the line speed now, but it's got to be disciplined as well.
They're there. They're all shoulder to shoulder.
Tomata lines up for another crack. Bumps it forward and gets chopped down low. Riulu Buchanan shakes out of the first one. That's a good carry from Daniel. The man from Wellington. Poriroa Vikings Jr. Been a welcome addition to the Auckland comp. Through the middle just for a second. Mosia Serra looked likely.
Dangerous.
2 down back play for Northcote. Tippins will kick from halfway. Fielded by Machu Stone Dunn, who looks up and sees a little bit of a staggered line. Brings it back and takes it to 25 off his own line. 1 still down in back play that looks like a Moa Tuli to me. Tell you what, the trainer and the physio are earning their keep today. Semi-finals football at its best.
Yeah, great response from Glenora Bears. Turn them back round. Here come the Tigers though.
Vitini Abua, good carry and quick play the ball as well, considering Tiaho looking for a gap, dancing, gets through Chase Bernard first of all, but there's no getting through the second attempt. Afu finds Waka at first receiver. Waka will dink a little kick in over the top and will find grass, but it's going to go dead and too heavy, and that really ends up being a terrible result in the end. It's a game of inches, and now it will be the 7 tackle set when they come out to the line.
It looked as it came off the boot, it was the right weight, but it's Really deceptive are the in goals here at Mount Smart number 2.
Whairangi Charlie. Phoenix Paiu, he's worked hard today. Glenora Junior, he spent some time with Papakura and Otahu as well.
Right. Oh,
Tomata's grimaced.
yeah, no, looks okay.
Oh, well, he'll be okay after that. Earns his team the penalty, limps off in back play. Tiaho wants to have the chat with Elliott. So they'll tap and go once again. Riulu Buchanan. Tippins jumps out. Was the marker square? Yes, play on. Whairangi Charlie to Ioka. Spots up Barner and gets the offload away now. Surely that was forward. Strip the call. So, I said in the first half, Northcote probably rode their luck with a couple of calls. Well, now they're going the way of Glenora in the second. Swings and roundabouts, as so often happened, as it ends up all even in the end. I'm not saying they're incorrect calls, but probably those 50-50 ones, as Bernard now bumps the ball forward with 27 to play. Whairangi Charlie. They go backdoor. Vasu Vulangi, who's come into his own in the second half. Tackled by his opposite number, Tuigamala. Tuare, centre field now, Whairangi Charlie pops the ball out the back, and Bernard will go low, but is paid close attention by Kenny Stewart. Tippins to Ioka, short at the line. Great read, though. Who was that raced up out of the line? Kenny Stewart again. 2 massive plays in a row. Tippins says, I'll go myself. Pops the ball out the back. There's space out on the left-hand side here. Now the ball is loose, and Northcote patiently watch it go dead. Boy, a fair bit going on in that set.
As we see Tigers not. No, he wants them to go back and reset play from here. Yeah, there was a lot of activity happening in that last passage of play as we see the Tigers now trying to grind out from inside the 20 out to the 30.
If you're just tuning in or you're not a regular watcher, this is the Elimination semi-final in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, Auckland's first division, the premier domestic competition in New Zealand. Right now, it is the Tigers who are surviving, but only just. The Bears will come back hard. Joe Bywater, the former Otago Whalers product. Waka chips over the top, fortuitously, or kindly I should say, bounces up into the hands of the Glenora fullback. Tomata. He's added plenty. Particularly with Wairangi off the field.
He's had a good game.
Mossy a setter, pops the ball, but it'll come back for a knock on, I think. Kenny Stewart's going to clean it up. This will be a
play on, yep.
0 tackle start for the Northcote Tigers, and a chance for them now to go down the other end of the park and set up camp once again if they can complete the set. Bumping the ball forward is Rob Tapau. Waka to Vitinia Bua. 25 short of the line right now. It's Tully who will come infield to Cole Waka. He's just dying for a little gap to open up, isn't he?
Yep.
Afu, speaking of dying for a gap, Josiah on a good run to Bywater. Bywater walks up through the middle. Zion Ioka with a crucial intervention that possibly saves a try there. Afu goes right edge. It's a terrible pass from dummy half. It's cleaned up by Moa Tully, who shakes out of the first one. It ends up in the hands of Stone Dunn, and then to Tiaho. And Tiaho shaping for a big play out the back, and Vasu Vulangi forces the error. That is a massive play from Vasu Vulangi. Bywater and Fitiora Davis exchanged pleasantries, but that was huge. Tiaho was looking out the back, and then out of nowhere, Vasu Vulangi says, "You're going into the dirt, my son."
It all can turn just on a dime, can't it?
So, time off as we deal with the injured player, but you're right, Troy. There's just little moments in this game that you just get the feeling come full time. A lot of them we won't even remember, but they're all going to add up to the eventual result here, and it's going end to end right now. Just takes a penalty or a little hand on the ball to change things, and with 24 to play, it's anyone's guess who will go on with this one.
Yeah, the sands had just shifted that way. Tigers were, heading in the right direction, and then bang, a massive tackle gets pulled off. And now we have this, break in rhythm.
And this doesn't look good here. The Medicab's making its way to the sideline. Jordan Tiaho is in all sorts. Time back on. He's back up to his feet, so maybe it's not quite as serious as was initially predicted. We'll go back and try that one again. James Tomata says, "You sure?" So back underway now. Tippins really promotes a fast pace at dummy half when he wants to. Bernard pops the ball at the back, goes to Vasu Volangi. Vasu Volangi now works through the middle, and it takes everything that Bywater and Vitinia Bua have got to slow his momentum. Tippins to Torre. Torre chopped down beautifully. Kenny Stewart, he has made some wonderful reads in this game. Riuli Buchanan works down the left-hand side, gets that low fend on. He's got that style where he carries quite low. Gets to a quick play of the ball as well. This is a good set from the Glenora Bears. They kick in behind. The chase is good. Northcote need to be aware, and Stone Dunn. Johnny on the spot to clean that one up, and then returns with interest and does well to stay in the field of play as well. So Northcote's turn now to try and get this ball out and assume some dominance again in the arm wrestle. It's sitting evenly in the balance right now with 22 to play. This will help Northcote's cause. Crusher, I think the call in the end there. Pressure on the neck. Big shout out to everyone watching at home, whether it be in New Zealand or around the world. And I know we do have people tuning in from all over the show, Troy, particularly Australia, where a lot of our expats certainly enjoying keeping up with the club footy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know in the next game coming up with, the main game for today, Howick Mount Albert. Mount Albert have certainly got some fans in the UK. The Ropati family are away overseas at the moment, and they're all tuning in to see, their son Rory and cousin Minnie Ackland, on the screen today. So big shout out to them a wee bit later on. And just as I'm waffling away in the background here, where Tigers have pulled back to restart. Here they go.
Finota warming up on the sideline, perhaps waiting for his boarding pass for the second time. Joe Bywater bumping the ball forward into contact. Afu to Waka. Waka short at the line to Nalu Tuigamala, who just about went through. Afu to Waka. Left side they can't. Big cutout pass over the top to the hands of Donnelly. Was that touched by Glenora? Oh, throwing it back in field, but this will be no advantage, I think. Calls of what about the late hit and back play. Waka is down. Time off once again. Now, there are calls that Cole Waka's been taken out late off the ball here. There's no suggestion of such from the officials from what I can tell. So, 20 minutes and 32 to play. Waka getting checked over. Looks like that may be shoulder or ribs.
You can't help but think, these breaks in play, how much it affects the teams.
Oh, massively, absolutely.
If you're under the pump, you can't keep applying the pressure.
In this case, Waka is in a pretty bad state, and it's probably only his own team's momentum it's halting, so it's certainly something serious here, and they desperately need that man to stay on the field.
Odd minutes to go, 4 points adrift.
So Waka consumes a little bit more of the magic water. Very ginger in the line. He'll be a target defensively, no doubt, next time Glenora have the football. So they're set heavy to the right here. It's only Vitinia Bua and Donnelly on the short side. Still talking about the late shot. So Waka will feed the scrum now. Afu to collect from the back. Finds Tiaho, the first receiver, and then Stone Dunn. The former Richmond man. Spent some time with the Warriors Cup side as well as a player down in back play for Glenora. Stayed in the ruck that time as Amoa Tully gets ragdolled literally to ground. Now that's Wyatt Rangi who's clutching at the head, so we're going to have time off once again here.
Wow.
Well, they're falling like flies right now. There's concern being shown here for Wyatt Rangi, who has already gone off with what looked like a knee injury or perhaps a hammy, and now clutching at the head.
Now, just due to all of these stoppages, I can hear the admin team talking about a forecast for a new kickoff time for the for the third match today, and we'll come back to you with that. Don't worry though, Stream Shop got a lot of dishes on top of sticks, and we'll be running a couple of streams, so we'll be welcoming people in and staying with the crew that are here for the fans of the Tigers and the Glenora Bears. As one of the Bears are down at the moment.
Thumbs up from Dan the man running the show today. Little playmaker there at his desk as we wait for the Glenora player to be dealt with here, and I'm pretty sure it's Wyatt Rangi. Either him or Zion Ioka.
A nice touch by the Bears today in the pink socks. I'm thinking that's to pay respects to Carol Loza.
Yeah, really, really sad news. And of course, as I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, the Loza family, well known in Auckland League circles. So certainly our love and thoughts go out to all of them. It's been a rough old year in many ways with a number of, high-profile deaths within our community. It's never nice. Of course, Northcote themselves lost Zay Wallace at the start of the year, which certainly rocked us all. So it looks like there may be a sort of prolonged stoppage here. So perhaps time, Troy, to look ahead to what we've got coming up. And I know the excitement of this game's enough in itself, but Mount Albert, Howick coming up. We called them last week. Howick get a couple back. How does that change the game plan for the Hornets, in your opinion?
Well, I think if Howick were going to lose one, that was the one to lose, to be fair. Mount Albert were just stunning on the day, though, weren't they? They were clinical around the park. They were, just, I suppose, playing out of their skins to make sure that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they definitely were looking at the number 2 spot. They didn't want to be in this situation where we have Glenora and Northcote, playing in a sudden death situation. That said, Howick, we had a brief moment with Dan yesterday. He was up the office, and he was happy. Jethro's back. I think you talked about that earlier in the piece. Jethro friend back on the field, so that's going to change their team dramatically. And for both of those sides, they'll definitely want to have the win, get to the final, as that player's been clapped off in the background.
So Zion Ioka, let's see what happens with him here, because already they've got Wyatt Rangi who's on the sideline. So my apologies, I said earlier I thought it was Wyatt Rangi that was down, but it was Zion Ioka, although he appears to be okay. He's just getting the neck checked out. So another long stoppage. It's still Northcote with the ball.
Is this tackle 2? Tackle 3.
Your guess better than mine. I've lost count, it was that long ago. But anyway, Amoa Tuli will be to play the ball. Afu, the dummy half. And set with a fair bit of depth here are Northcote, so you wonder if there may be a play in the offering in the next play or two. Tafutu moving up to first receiver, and he will just bump the ball forward here. Now Waka is hovering out the back. Afu goes short to Bywater, and Bywater looked to go out the back again, but Vasu Valangi whacked him. Last play coming up. Down the left they work, a little kick in behind. It's not so little, it drifts dead, and the Glenora Bears come out to the 20, and I think on that occasion it may have been Rob Tapau kicking the ball, which I have no idea why that would be the case. It's hard enough for a half to kick in these in goals.
Yeah, probably just the disjointed break and play. So Tigers need to get back into the into the rhythm of things here, get their line speed back in, although that didn't look that tidy. Managed to pull them down on the tackle. Here come the Bears though.
Bernard, change of direction and a swivel at the line. Torre to Vasu Volangi. Vasu Volangi fending players off for fun. Oh, it looks like man against boys for a second there. Quick play of the ball. Lam jumps out and gets ragdolled to ground. Vasu Volangi back from a stint with the Townsville Blackhawks in the Queensland Cup competition. A valuable addition for the Bears. Torre stations himself down the right, kicks in behind, Stone done, brilliant, shakes out a one, and now Machu's got a little bit of open space down the left-hand edge, heads back infield, beats one, he's got Ted Donnelly on his shoulder, Machu Stone done, still going, 45 metres untouched, and now Northcote want a penalty. And I think they've got one. Well, the crowd noise is that heavy, I'm struggling to hear what's going on here. Now there's drama for Glenora as well, someone limping heavily in back plate. We'll stay with what's on the screen. Cole Waka arguing the case for the Bears, for the Tigers I should say. Cole coming in now from the touchy, so this will be interesting.
Having a look at a quick action replay here, because I've just about lost my voice. And yeah, probably took a shot in the back there. But I don't think there was any malice in it. It was just the way his body was going as opposed to the defender in the opposite direction. And yet we got another player down.
The other side of halfway, and it's been a day for it. Let's hope everyone can get back up to their feet and continue. Casualty ward is overflowing right now.
And these guys, you know, the Northcote team are just so fast around the ruck area and moving the ball around.
That was brilliant from Machu Stone Dunn, wasn't it? To take the ball there, he timed the bounce perfectly and then looked up, saw some space.
So Glenora all set, looking sharp now on the defence line. Everyone's had a little bit of a break here as another player just hopping off with one of the trainers, one of the Bears in the background.
So that substitution means it's back to Suape time. Kavaliku back on for another run.
Yep.
SA he was probably due to come on for the last 15 or 10 anyway. Afu to Waka. Waka turns back to the inside. Here's Tuigamala. Rugby union convert. He's added so much to this Northcote team. Right side they move it. Tully. For his footwork. They're 25 out from the line now, the Tigers. 4 points the gap. Tiaho. This is Tafutu. Richmond Junior and Niue representative at senior level. Afu to Waka. Waka dribbles the kick in behind and scooped up, and that was an important little ankle tap. James Tomata looked up, saw some grass, got excited, and then before he knew it, he was on the deck. Here's Lua Falialo. Miss out Suape this time and head out to the left edge. It was their favourite edge in the first half. and starved of real attacking opportunities through the second, and it's been more middle dominated, I guess. Riulu Buchanan, strong carry through the middle from Daniel. He's been very effective on his side. Lam to Suape Kavaleku, wanted the offload and had Chase Bernard hanging on his shoulder. Torre, Vasu Valangi with a little change of direction and a brilliant tackle from Kenny Stewart. I've said that sentence a few times today. 16 to play. I want this never to end. Brilliant stuff. Moses Leo. Afu. Oh, slammed to ground. It was all legal. Afu back up to his feet. Tiaho to Baiwa.
Oh! He's got the ball away.
Water. Oh. Waka. Looping ball over the top. Now Donnelly needs to come back infield. Does so. Donnelly still fighting now Ted, the rangy winger.
Oh!
And apologies at home if you were listening through headphones there. That probably wasn't too nice. The commentators doing their best to compose ourselves in the moment. Eddie Finota, the skipper. 15 to play. It is the Tigers who lead by 4, and on the attack once again. Tiaho to Stone Dunn just for a second. Last play now coming up. Afu jumps out. Afu goes to Stone Dunn. Numbers on the left now. Waka looks to tip the ball on. Vitini Abua looking to promote it. Keeps it alive. Goes to Tuigamala, who one hand brings it in. Stone Dunn kicks across. It's an innocuous one and is cleaned up. And now Glenora start this one 10 out from the line, and we go again. Nice run. Lovely stuff from Phoenix Pau. He's done all the hard stuff today, Phoenix. Nothing too stunning in the way of line breaks or anything, but set up the first try nicely and has worked so hard out of yardage along with this man, Kenneth Fanotti, who now takes the Bears just inside attacking territory. Last play now coming up. Goes to Torre, and Torre will run it. Vasu Vulangi, and they got space out on this right-hand side now. Tomata puts the head down and heads back infield. Support looming. Glenora in. A stroke of brilliance from Jordan Torre. Elects to run the ball on the last, and they break down the right-hand side and they score via Simon Luafalialo to lock the ball game up. 16-16. 13 and a half to play. Kick to come.
Wow. The SAS sporting action replay after sustaining so much pressure against the runner play. Here come the magnificent Bears, spreading it to the right-hand edge. Nice little pop into support play there, and one-handed try. And this man knows how to score tries too. You hear the ground announcement, kick to come, 4 points, and we got ourselves 16 all ball game, 13 minutes on the clock. Elimination football. How good is it, Corey? Have a breath.
The vision of Jordan Torre there, looked up, saw that they were stripped for numbers. Tuigamala, it looked like had been sucked infield, did his best to get back there. But credit where it's due as well to James Tomata, who broke down that side of the field, but he always knew where the gap was. It was back through the middle with Lua Falialo. So a big, big kick to come to give the Bears the lead once again for the first time in quite some time. And
wow,
probably wasn't quite as convincing as he would have hoped, but it goes over. And they lead by 2. 12 and a half minutes to play. You're joining us for the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership Elimination semi-final. And it has been
10 minutes,
truly
12 minutes.
A gift so far this game. And may it keep on giving. Back to it. Torre claims it. And Bernard gets back to work. Kavaliku, change of direction.
Still wrestling, still going. Offload.
Popped and pulled in by Fanotti. Bywater all tangled up. As well to get out just in time perhaps. Tuare to Vasu Volangi. Vasu Volangi, he has been the difference in the second half. Scored a try and set up that
He
time.
sold it. Yep.
There was no complaint from Kolwaka, who obviously thought that was perhaps fair enough.
That's the real first time I can remember that they've kicked for touch, isn't it? Normally they've just tap and go.
Big set coming up. The Bears lead by 2. Not sure Northcote have got 2 tries in them at this point, so if they can get up to a 2-score lead, it might just be enough to survive. Nah, Lamb is the dummy half. Looks to his left, finds Tippins, and then Kavaliku! Swapi!
It was a big bear play. Big bear play. Just about to say we get down here and it's going to be a big bear play, and they don't come any bigger than that bear. There we go, the SAS Action Sporting replay, and we're just getting to the end of it, and he's bumped a couple, dragged one, and he's a great pathfinder. He knows how to do it. 4 points right beneath the black dot. And the crowd comes alive.
So this kick to make it an 8-point ball game, 2 scores required from Northcote. I said maybe 30 seconds prior to Swapi Kavaliku busting his way through the middle of the park that a converted try might just do it here for Glenora. From right in front, he won't get an easier one. So Mosi Aseta converts it, flags go up, they lead by 8, 9 minutes to play, and Northcote now will require a minor miracle.
Glenora 24, Northcote 16, 9 minutes to go of this SAS Fox Memorial Elimination semi-final.
Well, if any team has a minor miracle in them, you'd look no further than the Northcote Tigers. This not over yet.
They'll go long and try and force an error. Guess who?
Yeah. Great carry.
Come under plenty of attention that time. Swapi, slow back to the feet. Bernard bumps the ball forward, and this is where these middle forwards come into their own now for Glenora. They'll just look to work the ball up, chew off as much clock as they can, and then trust their playmakers who have been excellent all day to get a kick away. This man made the difference. Vasu Volangi, Bayross School Junior. Time with the North Queensland under-20s as Tippins now goes through, and the Tigers are holding on by the skin of their teeth right now. Yoka to Riuli Buchanan. Torde will run it. Torde flings it out the back. That's messy and not the finish to the set they would have been hoping for. Now they come down the right-hand side. It's last play, and Taumata eventually gets to the kick. Stone Dunn back to clean it up and beats the initial line and then brings it back in field. So 7.5 to go. The Tigers need 2 tries. Vitini Abua, he can hold his head high. He's been excellent in the centres. Utility player, he plays all over the show for this squad. Has to play in the centres today and done a good job. Eddie Finota.
Hammered.
Kavaliku. Swapi, he's enjoying his day at the office, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Even that time he slips over. Mana. Pops the ball out the back. Goes to Tiaho. Tiaho. Kenny Stewart bumps the ball forward. Last play coming up now for the Tigers. Don't have to score, but a repeat set, probably the very least. Waka goes over the top then to Vitinia Bua, who kicks.
Wow.
And, well, I'm not even
It's
sure
like a
if I
stop
can
shot,
pick that.
wasn't it?
What's the rule here?
In
It's
front.
going to go to Northcote. Wow. Big moment.
Well, they really need something here because the actual countdown clock is becoming an enemy at this point.
6 to play by our count. There's time if they're good enough, Northcote. Bumping the ball forward now. This is Tuigamala. Afu misses out Captain Eddie and goes to Bywater instead. Bywater backs his way into the tackle, perhaps thinking second phase. As well wrapped up by Bernard in front of the SAS uprights. 8 the gap. Afu to Waka. Waka crabs across and then goes to Vitinia Bua, but the Glenora line are up quickly. Afu short! Burrowing low is Eddie Finota. He goes so close. He was over the line. Tackle still up their sleeve here, the Tigers. Afu to Tuigamala. Tuigamala says we'll have to change direction. Does so. Finds Stone Dunn. Stone Dunn shakes out the first one. Finds an offload and now Chase Bernard is away. In fact, it's Phoenix Paiu now shaking out of 1, shaking out of 2. Cole Waka eventually ragdolls him to ground, but he's 35 off his own line.
5 minutes to full time, and it looks like it's going to be Bears here, trundling down the centre of the park.
Glenora closing in on survival. Northcote staring down the barrel of an elimination final exit for the second year in a row. Ball loose. Well, this gives them a chance. They're going to spread the ball early now, and Amoa Tully looks up and sees nothing but white jerseys in front of him. Moses Leo.
Another Bear there holding his leg. He's looking a bit dodgy on the defence.
Joe Bywater.
Yep, pulled it off.
Coming off from the field now. Matt Tafotu back on by the look of things. Bana.
Yeah, the Bear. The lock struggling.
Karia Yoka battling for Glenora. Join the club. Waka. Crabbing. Looking for a gap. Cole Waka.
Oh, he's dropped.
Ball comes loose. Vasu Valangi scoops it up.
Trying to put the big guy down.
Slow to the seat. Feet. Solomon. Paiu. Bears in no hurry now. One out through the middle for them. Well, just as I say that, they break down the left-hand side via Phoenix Paiu and taking down 40 out from the line.
That was off a Sawapi cutout pass.
Speaking of the man, Kavaleku! It's his third line break of the game. This is ridiculous. Suape killing it through the middle.
I just hope he doesn't pull a hamstring.
Bernard to Torre. Back to Fanoti. And there's not a lot Northcote can do here. As Glenora just chew this clock off, you can expect this to get buried into touch here at the conclusion of this set. Although, just as I say that, they're keen to still play football. I'm sure much to the delight of coaching staff as Stone Dunn goes across field. It ends up in the hands of Waka. Vitinia Bua heads down, but they scramble nicely. 2 to play. Finota, short at the line. Play on the call. Afu. No one with him. Wanted an offload. Just short of halfway now. Bana wants a quick play of the ball. Goes to Tiaho. Looping ball. Amoa Tully. Now Ted Donnelly into a little bit of space on the right-hand side. Ted Donnelly has to come back in field. He was
Wow.
hit, Ted Donnelly.
They got to go quick. They got to go quick. Clock counting down, 122, 121.
So a quick look at the replay here as the kick is lined up. We'll get Troy to talk us through the replay as I keep an eye on the kick, which could end up being pretty important to Igamala.
Yep, they've shifted it out on the sideline here. We can see the breakaway down that right-hand edge by the winger. Managed to stay in 4 points. Back to the live action. Here we go.
And my apologies, I've called that one as Ted Donnelly. It was in fact Moses Leo. As Tuigamala drills it from the sideline.
Well, 50 seconds. And from surprise, the Bears moseying back to the halfway line.
So we'll give you accurate clock updates as they come in. As the final few seconds count down.
Tigers are set, they're ready.
We will get time off once it reaches a certain threshold.
How good is this, Corey Rosser? How good is this? Reset the tee.
So ignore the clock on screen, listen for the siren, and watch for the second phase. Here we go to keep a season alive.
$20 seconds.
20 seconds to play. Finota. Ball's loose. Glenora are going to win.
There you go.
What a game. What an effort from the Bears. They led early and then had to endure a really, really rough time before coming back. But the Bears will live to fight another day. They win this one 24-22 over the Northcote Tigers in a grueling elimination semi-final. Full credit to the Northcote Tigers who gave it their all. But in the end, Glenora come up with the big plays and the crucial moments, and they will advance to play the loser of Mount Albert versus Howick up next.
So next week here,
Wow. That's all I've got left in me. Corey Rosser, fabulous on the call today for the elimination semi-final here at Mount Smart number 2. And we can see some of the Bears on the screen now. Congratulating each other. It's been a massive tussle to get to here today. They came from 6th position during regular season, played themselves into the top 4. Northcote, who have had a wonderful season, to come down only 2 points away, and you can see there's a lot of emotion there.
this game today is the major semi-final in the SAS Fox Memorial.
Heartfelt feelings out to the Northcote Tigers family.
And the Howick Hornets.
They play a brilliant class of rugby league.
They will run out as follows. Wanitika,
Jeff Morton on screen. There's the wonderful Bears today. What a fabulous game that they've played.
Anganofo. 4, Darren Killett-Moore. 5, Christian Peters.
Suape's done it all today. The big number 10 there, he's had a fabulous day,
7,
as did the back rowers,
8,
as they now walk towards the Tigers
Falilua Malia.
and the Glenora Bears progress
Marcus Fraser.
to the major final next week.
10, Matui
And they wait now for the following match as top of the table, Howick Hornets
13, Hoani
play Mount Albert Lions, and the loser of that game will meet Glenora next week.